800 horsepower, up to 2,000 pounds of downforce, and a DRS-equipped rear wing that raises the bar of performance. Here's the 2025 Ford Mustang GTD in its full glory and might. This beast brings track-ready supercar capabilities to the street, delivering an exceptional level of performance, drivability, and efficiency that no other Mustang can match. And in this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about it, including its multi-dimensional semi-active suspension system. More importantly, I'll be revealing how Ford came up with the idea to produce this thing, the Canadian tech company that contributed to the production process, and 6 amazing facts about the GTD that you wouldn't find anywhere else. The introduction of the Ford Mustang GTD is turning heads in the automobile industry, and it's interesting to see because originally the Detroit-based manufacturer never intended to build it. But after seeing a clay model of the Mustang GT3 race car, CEO Jim Farley thought it would be cool to build a road version of the car. This brilliant idea by Farley set the wheels in motion and ultimately led to the invention of the Ford Mustang GTD. Right off the bat, you can tell that the GTD has a few things in common with the GT3, especially in terms of style. But make no mistake, the GTD is in a class of its own. Ever heard the phrase, "the perfect car doesn't exist"? Well, it doesn't. But here's the irony. Every time aficionados go shopping for a new ride, they always look out for the car that's drivable and can satisfy their need for speed. And the Ford Mustang GTD is one of the few cars that meets both criteria. But beyond its speed and drivability, there are a lot of other things to admire about this car. And when I say a lot, I mean a whole lot of sleek features like these special magnesium wheels and a DRS-enabled rear wing. We'll come back to all of those intricate details later in this video, but for now, let's explore what's under the hood of this beast and reveal why it is set to become the world's most powerful Mustang. The Ford GTD Mustang is powered by a naturally aspirated V8 engine, which generates over 800 horsepower at 7,500 RPM. This makes it the world's most powerful Mustang, ahead of the Shelby GT500, which maxes out at 760 horsepower. But that's not all. In addition to its enormous power, the GTD has another superpower that we haven't talked about yet, and it's none other than pace. With a top speed of up to 190 miles per hour, this thing will become the fastest Mustang on the entire planet. To prove this beyond reasonable doubt, Ford has arranged a test session for later this year, which will see the GTD attempt to run the famous Nürburgring track in under 7 minutes. Now, that's no small feat. In fact, it's almost unbelievable to think that a Mustang would be chasing such a record. However, Ford's relentless drive to push the boundaries of performances and innovation is making it happen. But here's the most interesting part that you haven't heard yet. Despite its ungodly power and raw pace, the Ford Mustang GTD will be road legal. This is such a big deal because it means everyday drivers will have a taste of what it feels like to drive a track-focused car. When you think about how much thrill and excitement that would bring to the faces of speed-loving car enthusiasts across the world, you cannot help but hail Ford for a job well done. While you're at it, you also want to give Multimatic some accolades as well. In case you're wondering, Multimatic's a Canadian firm that manufactures and supplies components, systems, and engineering services. And it is thanks to their highly revered expertise that Ford has been able to make a monster out of the GTD. Speaking about monsters, another beastly feature of this bad boy is its multi-dimensional semi-active suspension system, which I mentioned earlier in the video. Now, this spring was specially designed for the Mustang GTD by Multimatic. So, what exactly is special about this suspension, and how does it enhance the performance of the car? Well, in addition to absorbing all external forces exerted on the wheels, this suspension system is fitted with adaptive spool valve dampers. For the front wheels, these ASV dampers are paired with unequal length control arms. However, for the rear wheels, a multi-link pushrod style setup with an inboard damper and coil springs is used. This design maintains a 1-to-1 motion ratio, establishing a direct mechanical connection between the wheels and suspension. More importantly, it offers up to 16 different bumps and rebound responses. With a single push of a button, the hydraulically actuated springs can adjust the ride height by 1.6 inches. But how about we abandon the numbers for a second and talk about the real-life application of these dampers? At first glance, these dampers look just like every other car adaptive damper on the market, but their superpower comes alive when you adjust them. For instance, lowering the dampers reduces the ride height of the GTD, enhancing the aerodynamic efficiency and increasing the top speed by up to 20 miles per hour. Now, that's absolutely mind-blowing, but guess what? Ford didn't stop there. The American automaker went above and beyond to equip the GTD with additional weight-saving and performance-enhancing components and features to tickle the fancy of motorists. One of them is the carbon fiber drive shaft that's paired with an 8-speed rear transaxle. Together, these features work hand in hand to facilitate the 50-50 weight distribution between the front and rear of the car. Another exciting component on the Ford Mustang GTD is the 20-inch forged aluminum wheels. They look absolutely gorgeous, and all it takes to appreciate their stunning beauty is one glance. But I can assure you that you'll need more than one test drive to properly experience the high-end performance that they offer, especially if you opt for the optional track-focused magnesium variant, which delivers track-ready performance, excellent road grip, and improved cornering stability. With all of these features, it's clear that Ford is out to make a big statement with the Mustang GTD. But just when you think they couldn't outdo themselves, the American automobile giant announced another major performance-enhancing feature that will be part of the GTD. But what's this feature called, and how exactly does it enhance the performance of the car? Well, it's none other than the variable traction control, an advanced technology that allows drivers to adjust engine output and traction control intrusiveness without taking their hands off the wheel. That's some next-level type of innovation right there, but guess what? There's a lot more things to admire about this beast than just variable traction control alone. I mean, the development process of the Ford Mustang GTD is driven by technology and efficiency so much that most of the parts we're used to build it are made of carbon fiber, including the body panels, trunk lid, door sills, front splitter, and even the roof. This obviously reduces weight and optimizes performance. As if that's not enough, Ford decides to take things to a whole different level by equipping the Mustang GTD with a DRS-enabled rear wing. For the record, DRS stands for Drag Reduction System, a technology well known in Formula One that enables closer racing and overtakes. Basically, Ford expects the technology to serve the same purpose in the Ford Mustang GTD, enabling the car to generate between 1,500 and 2,000 pounds of downforce at 150 miles per hour. Now, that's absolutely staggering and probably explains why Ford CEO Jim Farley tagged it as a sophisticated techno badass. And we absolutely agree with him, because no matter how hard you try, you'd never find a Mustang that's more badass than the GTD. This thing is the pinnacle of Mustang cars, and perhaps nothing showcases this more than its price. With a base price of $325,000, the 2025 Ford GTD is set to become the most expensive Ford Mustang in history. Now, some people might raise eyebrows and say that's too expensive, but in actual fact, it's a steal, especially when you compare it to the other cars in its class. I mean, this is no ordinary Mustang. It's a full-blown race car built for the street, and to top that off, it's a limited edition machine. Only 2,000 models will be produced, and Ford intends to screen potential buyers before they hand them the keys. So far, over 7,500 people across North America have registered their interest in purchasing it. As you can imagine, other potential buyers from Europe and Asia will also join the long queue, which already includes Ford's executive chairman Bill Ford and CEO Jim Farley. Obviously, those two are special candidates and will most definitely get their order. However, for the rest of the crowd, Ford says the selection process will be done through the allotment and concierge system, which was used to distribute the limited edition Ford GT. With that said, let's reveal 6 interesting facts about the Ford Mustang GTD that you probably don't know yet. 6. The GTD generates more downforce than a Porsche 911 GT3 RS at the same speed. 5. It features modifiable racing suspension technology, allowing drivers to enjoy on-road and on-track performance independently. 4. The GTD is equipped with a donut-shaped dry sump oil system, a first for any road-going Mustang. 3. The Ford Mustang GTD features a 24-inch resistant polycarbonate window with scratch-resistant coatings. 2. The word GTD means Grand Touring Daytona, and true to its name, this wild horse will tour and participate in different racing series across the world. 1. The Ford Mustang GTD boasts better performance than the GT3 race car. In other words, it's superior to the car that inspired it. Hailed as the pinnacle of American muscle cars, the Mustang GTD represents Ford's impeccable automotive prowess that has been on display since the early 90s. And as we await its arrival later this year or early 2025, we can only hope that it lives up to the hype around it.